I want to get some reaction now to Disney's number. Robin Diedrich is senior media analyst for Edward Jones. Bloomberg ranks her #1 for Disney stock returns based on her call. She joins us on the phone from her office in St. Louis. So, Robin, what do you think about this? Let me ask, first of all, if you could clear up the mystery for us. Carol and I kind of talking about this since it came out. Do you think they meant to release earnings before the bell, or was it a mistake?
Well, I guess we're just not sure on that. I mean, the logical explanation might be that, some of the information was getting out ahead of time. They felt it was the right thing to do to release early, but I guess we'll find out more on the call in a little bit, but we'll have to see.
All right, so what's your #1 question, Robin? Because they did miss on both the bottom and the top line here. I mean, what's your #1 question to Disney and Bob Iger at this point?
Well, I think it's, what the excuses kind of, there's a few of them here that kind of explain the 1 cent miss, but it's really what the degree of that is. So we've got, 1 week of fewer operations. We're not really sure how much that played into the miss at the networks and also at the parks. They do kind of give us some numbers in terms of the timing at ESPN and that revenues, and that's been a constant issue, I think, for the stock. They kind of, what they gave us in third quarter, they took away in the fourth quarter, and so there's all this timing going on at ESPN, and that's been an issue. But really, it's to try to get behind some of these kind of headline excuses and see how much the impact was, and really drill in to see, were their advertising revenues, for one thing, as good as everybody else's, and that's the issue. I mean, in the media group, everyone that's been releasing up to this point has had some pretty good numbers.
By the way, when you think about shifting revenue schedules for ESPN, Robin, as you say, it was an issue last quarter. It's an issue again this quarter. Is management not doing a good enough job communicating what they're trying to do to the analyst community? Because it seems like something that could irk investors as well.
Well, actually, in third quarter, it actually was a positive. So, that's something to remember. And they are actually communicating on that, but I still think that can be a point of confusion. So for this, for this quarter, I think it's going to be more about this 1 week difference in the fiscal quarter and in the year and the quarter, how much of that is an issue. And just really get behind the numbers. They said at ESPN and at cable, they did see higher advertising. They did see some subscriber growth. So getting into those numbers will be the key thing I think investors are looking for.
Robin, it's Julie here. I'm also curious in terms of the various business unit breakdowns here. How do they compare with your estimates in terms of the networks, the parks and resorts, the studio entertainment? Were there any of those in particular that sort of was a glaring miss for you?
Just a little light across the board. In terms of revenues, it was a little light on the cable networks and at the parks, and that was those are the main two things that I think we need to dive into.
All right, so you've got a buy rating on the stock at this point. Does any of this in any way yet, Robin, change kind of your outlook for the company?
No, I mean, what I focus on beyond, this is really looking at how well their ratings are doing at their networks, and we've seen still some pretty good trends there. So that's what I'm really watching. ESPN has still been doing fairly well in that. On their ratings. So, I think, and they also, again, they mentioned that their advertising, was up. So it's as to what degree did they see, to see a benefit from that. So I'm not concerned at this point because I think the demand is still there for their key brands, and at the end of the day, I think that's what really counts. So, okay. We're still pretty bullish on the name.
All right, hey, Robin, thanks for joining us. Robin Diedrich there, senior media analyst at Edward Jones.